action camera market has a ton of companies trying to compete with the monopoly of GoPro, and Yi Technology is one of these companies, and this video will cover their two action camera models which provide competitive price to performance ratio. This is the original Yi action camera. The front features a large power button which has a status light around it, like so, and you do have the option of turning this off or on through the app. The top has a shutter button, another status light, and a microphone port. Bottom, another status light, and standard 1/4 tripod hole. And the left side has a Wi-Fi button with the corresponding light for the Wi-Fi. The rear has two removable covers. The larger one has a little spring-loaded handle here to remove the cover. It has the battery. It has a smaller plate which is held in by resistance. And it has a micro SD card slot, a mini HDMI, and a micro USB port. And this is the Yi 4K model. Don't mind the aftermarket lens, but the front has been simplified with only a status light and a bit of lettering here announcing its 4K capabilities. The top has two microphone ports, speaker, along with a shutter button which also acts as the power on and off button, and on that button itself is a status light. The bottom, just like the original Yi, has a 1/4 tripod hole, but this time there's a spring-loaded door here which reveals the battery and a micro SD card slot on the side. The left-hand side has a removable door here which reveals a micro USB port. There is no mini HDMI port available on this one. And the biggest difference between the two models is the rear LCD touchscreen panel. Both cameras feature Ambarella chips and Sony sensors, with the 4K model obviously having the newer and more efficient parts. Aside from the chip and sensor, here are some of the main differences between the two models. The max resolution, using the latest firmware, the original Yi can output up to 2K video, up from the original 1080p limit when it was first released. The 4K model offers both regular 4K at 30 frames per second and 4K Ultra at 24 frames per second. The 4K model now includes electronics image stabilization, but only on videos up to 2K resolution. If you want stabilized 4K video, you'll need to use a separate stabilizer. Battery life has improved, with the original Yi lasting about 95 minutes and the 4K lasting about 120 minutes. And that extra battery life is definitely helpful due to the biggest feature of the 4K model, which is the rear touchscreen. Usually when lesser known companies implement touchscreen, the user interface and usability are pretty bad, but on the Yi 4K, the touchscreen is actually nice and responsive, and navigation is intuitive. Just like a smartphone, you can scroll through the different settings, you can touch to select, and overall it's very simple to use, easy to change your settings on the fly. And of course, having the ability to look at the images you just shot right on the camera itself is a big plus. With the original Yi, you would need to use a smartphone app to be able to change any of the settings. By going through the list here, you can change the resolution, metering mode, and you get a live preview of what your camera is shooting here. And there is a little bit of a lag, maybe about half a second, but it is useful to set up your shots. But of course on the Yi 4K model you can do all of that on the camera itself, so it does make it a lot easier. The original Yi is currently priced at $99 US and is a bargain for the video quality you get. And if you want an action camera that can output up to 2K video without paying GoPro prices, this model is highly recommended. The 4K model is priced at $199, and for the extra $100 you do get a ton of added features. Obviously 4K quality is superb, but you do need to make sure your computer can handle the larger video files. The touchscreen makes shooting with the camera a lot easier since you don't have to rely on having access to your smartphone. And even if you don't shoot at 4K, having image stabilization at up to 2K resolution definitely helps in producing stable video. Whichever model you decide on, the Yi cameras are an excellent option if you don't want to spend the extra money on the GoPro name.